Whoa, and we're back. I tried to time that. It didn't really work.
I was like, what is James doing? I
know. Welcome back, everyone, to another Let It Cook. This is your weekly-ish live stream where we just kind of ramble. Now, I did get feedback, Pierce, that we rambled too much and we didn't let Den cook enough. So I have an update for people. We have an update. Spec Kit taking over the world. Den will be back next week with a follow-up. He's making sweet enhancements based off of your recommendations to Spec Kit for spec-driven development, and he's coming back. We're going to let him fully cook this time. I'm not going to ramble about family and life, Pierce. I'm just going to.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you're back, Pierce. How's it going?
I'm back. Yeah. It's been like a minute since I've been on the stream. Been good. Lots of vacations, trying to take a break from work stuff, focus on the family. So, but I'm back in the swing of things now. Summer is officially over. The trees are turning in Utah. Life comes at you fast, James. It's already fall.
Oof. Well, you and I will both be in Seattle tomorrow in the Redmond campus. So it'll be very fascinating to see if any leaves are turning there. There's none here in Oregon yet, but I know that they're coming soon. It makes me happy and sad all at the same time. So
definitely.
Well, yesterday, something big happened.
What was that?
I
have a short memory. I'm like a goldfish.
Well, version 1.104 of VS Code just dropped for everyone to check out, which is awesome. And I've been using it. I have a video coming out today talking about a whole bunch of new features. Olivia and crew and team did an awesome live stream yesterday. And I think what I wanted to do today is you've got a bunch of hidden goodies. I've been doing these videos, kind of going through the release notes, diving into some of my hidden features. I figured we just dive through some of those. What do you think, Pierce?
Let's do it.
Okay. I guess I'll bring up my screen first. I guess that'll happen. Okay, here we go.
But keep it casual on Let It Cook. James and I doing very little planning. We're doing it live.
I updated all my. I'm on Insiders only because I wanted auto mode because it's not rolled out to me on my stable one yet. And you know about the cappuccinos, the cappuccino icons? I now got them thanks to Den. That extension, where's it at? Oh, cappuccino icons. That's my new favorite icon.
No.
There's latte, frappe icons, macchiato, and mocha icons. There's a bunch of different icons that you can have. Yeah, they're very good. So if you're like, oh, what are those icons? There's that. First thing I could talk about too, because I'm on Windows here. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that tiny pink? Can you see that tiny? Let me see if I can.
I can see it. Yeah.
Does that work? Does that zoom work?
Yeah, right on the edge of your VS Code window there. Yep.
Yeah, right there. There's my StreamYard. That right there, that's a new feature. That's a new feature. Did you know that?
Fancy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm frequently having like
window.border.
Windows open. And so being able to set the border is useful because I'm like frequently tabbing between them and trying to gather context on which window I have open. So yeah, I kind of like the idea that I give different workspaces different colors. That's kind of interesting.
I love it. So a little window border, you can set that up. And so that's also nice too, if you have like insiders and non-insiders and that icon's not more visual enough for you, but a whole bunch of good stuff there. So I actually love that. Yeah, you're right. This is user-wide, but also you can do workspace. So you could do specific workspace as well, which I think is delightful. So shout out to many hidden features in this release. So
yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. So let's talk about some new chat features first, Pierce. So as everyone knows, there's models.
Yeah.
Have you heard about models? Have you seen the
there are indeed models from different providers in this drop down.
Now there's other models. You configure models. You can bring your own key. I'm not going to talk about bring your own key. You're going to bring your own key later on.
We're going to bring our own key later. But yes, you can come in here. Look at all these providers. You can use these. Some of these are like if you go to the Copilot icon, I don't suggest James. Well, maybe he can click that. I didn't know if there was going to be internal things when you click that.
It is, but it's down below. It's down below.
It's down below. We're safe. All right.
We're safe.
But you can actually control which models show up in the model picker. So if you're like, oh, I didn't see certain models I have that James's model picker looks way smaller than mine. It's because he's actually gone in and say, hey, I'm not really on about that 3.5 Sonnet life, 3.7. I'm on that 4.0 life, right? And so I don't want to see those in the model picker. Like, let me just cut it down. And so I've kind of done the same. So you can control that. That was actually new as of last release. And then kind of new this release, just at a high level, we'll dig into it more later, is extensions can contribute models to Copilot. So if you're building a VS Code extension, VS Code now provides an API. Just wire that puppy up to that API. And basically then Copilot chat specifically and anything within it will actually use that model that you've configured via your extension to make requests. So that's really cool. Like obviously most people, the default models, like it's great value, like what you get for $10 a month. With GitHub Copilot and VS Code, you get access to all the best models in the world without having to go and configure something else. But if there's like another model you ever want to try or another configuration, this is a great way to go try that. And it's pretty cool. Like extensions can actually contribute models now. It's not even just like, hey, you have to send us a PR. Like that never worked really well, right? Because then we have to actually go and write all of the providers for all of the different inference stacks. It's just too much, right? And we also won't do a great job because every single provider is slightly different and how they actually like talk OpenAI compatible, interfaces. And so it's better if the provider itself actually wires it up. So another cool VS Codeism with this, the extensions being able to contribute models.
And Logan and I just did a podcast on the VS Code podcast talking about it as well. So vscodepodcast.com, episode 4, he talked about that in depth as well. So you can see I have the AI toolkit and I also have the Cerebrus one here as well, just because they were super early on it. So that's why you see them in this model picker. And so the question in the chat, can I log into the model with my account? That's you bring your own key. Yeah, you basically bring your API key for your model provider that you want, and then it shows up here in the list.
So. Exactly. Yeah. And then like when you do that, like obviously you're kind of going off the paved path of things we have in Copilot. Like we do a lot of prompt optimizations for the models that are in the product, right? So maybe you might have to go create a custom chat mode or something like that to make that model work really great in agent mode, for example. That's totally normal because that's what we do for all the models inside of our product already. We just do that for you for the provided models.
Totally. And so let's do some cooking over here. But I want to cook in a different way today. So there are all these models. There's a new auto mode. So auto mode is pretty cool. I've been using it quite a bit. So it selects the best model based on capacity and performance. I don't know exactly what that means. Do you know what that means, Pierce?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think earlier this summer, we had kind of a lot of complaints from the VS Code community, like, oh, I'm getting rate limited too much. Like that was a very frequent complaint. Like now you hear that much less. Also, like it should be faster is another common retort, right? And so over the last couple months, we've been working hard on that. Oh, I don't like seeing my face that big.
I love it. I love it.
Get away. I don't want to see it. That was very distracting for me. And so anyways, like auto basically will look at basically the performance and capacity that we have available for all the models that you have enabled, like in your subscription. So it wouldn't resolve to any models that like you've disabled or anything like that. And then basically pick the best model that we think will give you the best performance and avoid rate limits. So that's kind of like the early kind of where we're at with auto today. And BT dubs, like, look at that, counted at 0x to 0.9x.
Oh, that was different from yesterday. Yesterday it was 0 to 1.
Yeah, so if you're in stable, maybe the upper text will say something slightly different. But the fact remains that basically, like, the cool thing about auto is not only are we giving you kind of the best models and kind of routing to the place that's most likely to give you the most performant results, we're also kind of discounting these requests right now. So for example, you might get resolved to Claude Sonnet 4 in auto mode, and that's a 1x multiplier. But if you're in auto mode and get routed to Claude Sonnet 4, it's 0.9x. So you're getting a nice little discount kind of by going this auto route as well, which is pretty cool.
Like a 10% discount.
10% discount. Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know, like, I mean, that's where we're at today. Like it may change. We may do dynamic discounting, things like that. The other thing we really want to do with auto is, like I said, it's mostly based off performance and capacity today, but really kind of where we want to go. We have a blog coming on the VS Code blog next week. Nice. Is like basically like, oh, Pierce asked for this in his prompt. We actually think this model is the best for this sort of request, right? That's kind of like the direction we're headed. This is just kind of our initial stab. But the reception so far has been pretty good, and it's neat that you get the 10% discount on the premium requests.
Yeah, like if I asked it, how is this MCP built and what are the functions, don't write code, I could just be in ask mode. Actually, is it available in ask mode? It is. What? Oh, cool.
It is, yeah.
Oh, all right, let's see what it does. So I'll also point out here, ooh, there's an animation. Look at that. I didn't know.
Look at that custom font. I see a custom font in chat.
There's a custom font. So if you go in, there's a new feature, chat.font over here. Font family, Cascadia code happening over here. I set up any font that you want. Cascadia code. Daniel gave me crap. Daniel called me out. He was like, whoa, dude, like what's going on? I was like, I love it. But I'll also point out here a few things that just happened.
Yeah.
Is that one, it is using my Copilot instructions, which exist over here in my .github folder. There they are, right?
Yep.
This is like my folder structure, my coding best practices, things like that. But it's also using my new agents.md file, because now if you're working in a team and using multiple agents, you know, across different tools and different backends and different services, now agents.md, which is more of a, I wouldn't call it I mean, somewhat of a standard in a way, but many tools have adopted the standard out there. Then, you know, you can now use the agents.md.
Yeah. So if you're just using GitHub Copilot, like the Copilot instructions are still going to give you probably the best experience, because you have obviously the overall instruction file, which in some ways is similar to agents.md. And then we also have like the kind of instruction files themselves where you can say like, oh, I only want this instruction to apply to this directory or these file types and that sort of thing. And so you won't get that level of control with agents.md. That being said, if you're, like you said, James, if you're working across like multiple AI developer tools, it was super annoying. Like, okay, every single tool, including us, right? We have our own like rule standard. And so I do think it's super cool that there's like kind of, I guess technically you're right. It's not a standard in the same way. It doesn't have like a standards board or anything like that. But it's cool that we've all kind of collectively agreed that this is something we want, so that developers can kind of use multiple AI tools and still kind of get the rules applied. So I'm super excited that we got this in this release.
Yeah, it's super duper nice. So here's something as well. Okay, here we go. So now we got all the stuff coming back, all the stuff. Beautiful.
Dude, that's fine. I'm having trouble with it. I got to be honest with you.
You don't like it?
No, it's very distracting to me. Maybe it's just because I'm so used to, like, it could just be like a you move my cheese situation. Like, I'm just not used to
there you go. See how real time that was?
That was very real time. That was impressive.
Team crushed it.
All right.
So that one,
look at that hover. Okay. So this is, the hover effect isn't new, by the way, but if you ever hover over the message, it'll say what model you used in case you forgot, like if you're scrolling up in your history. And then, 0.9 multiplier. So you just got a little Claude at a little 10% discount. So.
Oh, where's the hover?
Go down. You just hover over the message. Like, that's what I mean, right there. And it shows up. So now if you move your cursor like to the chat input. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's not always there. And actually, like, we've had other conversations about using that hover effect for other things. Like, we've had a lot of conversations about showing how close you are to compaction or summarization, which is kind of a power user-y thing. Not everybody wants that. And so that's kind of where the hover effect is nice. It's like, if you want that information, it's there, but we're kind of on a mission, James, to delete more things, like in terms of buttons and things like that, because it's already pretty crowded here. So the hover effect is nice for that, because then it's like not always in your face. But yeah, look at this. Like, especially if you're on a high zoom like I do, this input box is can get very crowded.
A lot happening. Yeah. The question was, can you see models selected? And I guess it does it at the end. It tells you at the end what it used, not during.
It tells you at the end. And I think that actually is really good feedback. Like, it would be good to know with auto, like before you kick it off, like, okay, we're planning to use this model, right? And do you want to continue or something like that? I think that's really good feedback. So
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shove a few new features all in once. Okay. So instead of just going and doing a new chat and implementing a new feature, I have this MCP server for my feedback flow. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a new work tree. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do some, this is new. Work trees aren't necessarily new, but this feature is new. So I'm going to zoom in here, and can you see that? Does that work?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do more actions, work tree, create work tree.
Hold on a little bit more. We couldn't see you when you clicked work tree.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I'm gonna go too much now.
It's because I have this ultra wide. So what I've done first is I've gone into source control, enabled repositories. I have one repository. Click on the triple dot, work trees, create work tree. I'm gonna do it off of main because that's where I'm working already. I'm gonna create a new branch. I'm gonna call it new cooking tools for my MCP server. And now this is going to create a new work tree path in a different folder. And I'll point this out here, is that we have my feedback flow, and then I have feedback flowed out work trees.
Yep.
Okay. So it's kind of like a mirror code, basically, of it.
So it's
going to allow me to work on
this twice, each one with a different branch, basically.
Exactly. So I could be basically working on multiple branches on my local machine at the same time, which blows my mind. Yeah. This emoji is exactly how I felt when Christy told me about that. We have a podcast coming out with Christy next week. Subscribe to the vscode podcast, please.
Shout out to Christy, great intern over the summer who built this out.
So I'm going to open this in a new window. So I'm going to continue working on main. And now I'm going to open this puppy in a new window over here. Boop. Okay. Now this is going to boot up. So
you know what you should do? You should change your border radius for this workspace, for this work tree. Change it up. Then you have your different windows now have, go to the workspace version, change it to something cool. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, you can do, I'll do vscode green.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's shout out to.
How'd you just do that? How'd you just get the hover where you could figure out what the hex was?
Well, Power Toys.
Oh.
I don't actually need to restart.
Oh, you have to restart it to apply it. Oh no, it worked.
You don't. It's a lie.
Oh, so, see, this is why I love this stream. We find like nice little bugs like that. Okay.
I think you're supposed to, but then it still totally works. So now I have two colors here, right? Which is super nice. Yeah. So I got this one and I got this one. Boom, boom. Good call out there.
Yep.
Okay. So what is this? Screen reader optimized? I don't even know what I did. Cool. Okay. So let's say I want to add some stuff in here. So I have a new tool. So these are my MCP Boop. There we go. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to don't restore. Okay, it's restoring my NuGets. Hold on, Pierce. It's restoring NuGets.
You were a little laggy for me. Okay. I think we're back.
We're back.
I don't know if it's just me. Utah internet. You never know.
It's a James thing. That's a little bonus feature of letting it cook on a Friday. My machine's ready for the weekend.
It's ready for the weekend.
Okay, so I'm going to say here. I'll do this for everybody too. Boop, and then we'll do. There we go. This is how I normally cook. Let's add. I'm going to pin this. Boop. Let's add a new tool to get comments only. And then add documentation and also build the project. And so I know where the documentation lives. So let's go ahead and also add that to the context. I'm a big context guy. Love adding context.
Context engineering. There you go.
Fire it off. Well, just made a noise. Oh, cool. Oh, because it's screen reader optimized. So, oh yeah, that's right. For some reason, I have some default that has like the accessibility features on for some reason right now. So I just did a bunch of noises. Okay, let's do a few things. So one, we have in this branch, we actually don't have the agents.md because those are my main branch. So it doesn't actually have it because it didn't bring over the changes. But I will point out that there's a to-dos list. That's new.
That's pretty cool.
Inside of here. Now, what's really cool, you can't hear it, but every single time there's a turn, it's like someone's rolling the dice. It's like, hey, there's an update. That's actually really nice. Update, the to-do lists are new as well.
Yes.
And this not only allows me to follow what the agent's doing, but as Harold once reminded me, it also gives additional context and additional flow for the agent to follow in the thinking models that are doing that. I don't know if I described that correct or not, but
yeah, that's right. Like you want, like as the turn, as we call it, like as this, you hit enter and as the agent works, like you want it to stay on track, right? And pre-to-dos, it does a decent job. But the thing we found is with to-dos, the steerability of the agent goes way up, right? And so we actually did this for GPT-5, but we've been using it for all the models, and it seems to increase the response quality. So yeah, it's good because I can keep an eye on what's going on with the agent at a high level, but also it's helping the agent actually give you better results as well.
Yeah, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fire off another. So I'm in this, now I'm back into pink one. So I'm back on main. I'm going to fire off this agent to go and do some stuff. Oh, what's it doing?
What model did you get? So you got a little 4.0 mini action. Interesting.
Wow, never see that. Okay, that's not what I want. Let's do API Razor. Let's see. I think it has this context. Oh, because it's an open tab. So the other one's still turning, by the way. I can hear it because I can hear the little dings. That's a really smart feature, by the way. So let's say I go into one of my pages over here. Let's go into components, pages, admin, API keys. There we go. I'll say, let's add a nice loading animation here. Boop. Okay. So now it's actually going to cook. There we go. Perfect. All right. Oh, no, it's not.
So if you want it, yeah. So the interesting thing about auto is if you send a chat request today and then you're using auto at the beginning of the conversation, it won't change the model within that thread.
Ew.
So if you actually are like, I don't like the auto model I got, then you have to start. Yeah, you'll have to start chat.
Okay.
Or you can just change it to like the model that you want.
No, I refuse.
If you're like whatever, like there's auto. If you have specific preferences, of course you can keep using whatever you used before.
Yeah. Okay. So now it's thinking. So now I know it's a bigger model doing something. So, cool. So now, if I come back over here, this thing is still turning and cooking. Okay, cool.
This is a new thing. I want to talk about this.
Yes.
Do a quick show more.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you can see that it's trying to reach outside your workspace. And so it's asking like, are you sure you basically want me to do this? And also this will show if we're like updating package JSON or like anything in your .vscode directory, changing the MCP tools you have. Like they're not necessarily scary, but it's just like, hey, this is a sensitive file. Like you should pay special attention here. And so this is one of many things we did in this release to really kind of beef up awareness around security and agents. And so I really quite like this because it's like, hey, just pay special attention to this. Make sure you're cool with it.
Yeah, and this one's totally okay. This is in my documentation, but it's outside of like the file that it's editing here, which is okay. So I can skip. So I could just say, don't worry about that. They used to be cancel. So that's a new little hidden feature.
And so if you hit skip here, like, it would basically kill the conversation, which was super annoying. Yeah. But now you can skip, and then it's like basically telling the agent, figure it out without doing that thing.
So I'm going to allow it. I'm fine with that. Okay. Now here, so it's finishing the documentation on this one. So this is kind of the nice thing about work trees, right? You think of them, I'm now kind of like using work trees as almost background agents in a way. So I have all these agents running, but on different branches, right? So I could fire off and I could cook in a bunch of different ways, which is super duper nice inside of it. Okay, so this is another new thing too. So now it wants to build my project, .NET Build with PowerShell. So what's cool about this is that you can skip just like that other one, but you can now enable auto approve. So you could allow this .NET Build, but you could also allow auto approve, which we talked about on a podcast, the first or second podcast with Daniel, right? Yeah, Daniel. Yeah. About this as well, and all these improvements that it's now out there. So I'm going to enable auto approve, and it looks scary, but it's not. So this is like a subset of commands that will run autonomously. I'm going to enable that. Now, so it doesn't do anything. I've enabled it. And there's a list of denies basically, and the team has a bunch of approves and things like that too. But now I can allow the command of just .NET Build or that exact command line prompt. So I'm going to allow .NET Build. And I can also configure it too. So you can do this little JSON file. So now it's going to go off and it's going to build this. And I want to point this out, if this Zoom works, is that it says that it was auto approved with that the rule has been added here. So that's cool. So it's going in and it's going to go and grab that in general, which is pretty nice. Now I think this is pretty cool. So it thought that it was one.
As you're building out your app more, right, and you use VS Code more, the other cool thing is like you'll start to build up your allow list over time, right? And so you should get less interruptions for safe commands because just by the nature of using the agent and being like, I'm cool with this, you're going to start building out that allow list, and it's going to get less intrusive when you have to constantly click continue.
Exactly. So you can see that it actually ran the .NET Build again. Now it's running the .NET Build of the solution file automatically. So for example, if I go into the settings and I do auto approve, .NET restore, .NET test, and then I can define these as well as I'm going, which is cool. Okay. Sure. Oh yeah, I don't know what this is. What is this polling thing?
So this was to kind of address some feedback we got. I'm lagging a little bit here for you, James, so I might talk over you a bit. But this was to kind of address some feedback we had where basically there's different types of terminals. Like there's like do something basically, and then there's like more pooling type tasks where it's just going to be in the background where like say I'm running like like npm run dev, and it's just basically my my node server is running, and that's going to keep running, right, for a long period of time. Okay, well, the agent should keep working, right? It should, once we get the server booted up, if there's no problems, it should keep going. And so that's basically what that is doing, is it's differentiating between the different types of terminals that we can boot in the background, because we treat them differently depending on the command type.
Ah, that makes sense. And there's also a bunch of new like things inside of the configuration, I think, too. So there's like I have to look at where's the terminal. Let me look at the terminal. Yeah, there's like terminal release notes. So now, like when you do hover over this, you can see that it's like a rich shell integration.
Yep.
But I think there's been also a new top level, like new terminal window. There's a new command, Control Shift Alt tick, that's also inside of there, which is nice. And then there's new actions as well. So if you hover over the actions, we can see that there's clear terminal, run, go to recent directory, run recent command, start voice. There's a whole bunch of things inside of here as well for active files. And then there's a whole bunch of new IntelliSense improvements as well that have kind of gone on here too. So like tons of things inside of here, and little helpers and whatnot too. So there's a whole bunch of goodies basically in there. So do git checkout. Let's see if that works. Does that work?
Seems like
there you go.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. So a whole bunch of goodies inside there too. Okay, so this cooked. I want to point out too that these files are collapsed. That's my new favorite feature as well.
I mean, you joke, but like it is, especially if you run a higher zoom, like expand it out. Just go ahead and expand it out and expand the to-dos like it was the default. Not like that, sorry. Expand to-dos down, expand working files, and then put it back in the secondary sidebar. Like if you're running a high zoom, like look, you have not a lot of working space to actually see what happens. So like, especially if the agent did a lot, like that files changed area is going to be even bigger, right? So yeah, like I like that it's auto collapse, because for me in my workflow, like I really didn't click those files one by one anyways. And in practice, we didn't see people doing that either. And so it just made sense to collapse it and summarize the changes.
Yeah. And you can now see like files changed per, and you can accept, and that file goes away, or you can keep all, boom, and all the files go away because you approve them.
And also if you stage, so like I frequently just ignored that. Like it's funny how everyone uses it different. Like I would just ignore the keep and undo. And then I would just commit something, right? And so when you stage a file from agent mode in this release, and it hasn't already been kept, we view staging as keeping it. So which makes sense, right? Like if you're staging the change, you wanna commit it, so you clearly are okay with it. So that's kind of also a nice thing, is like we're trying to make it have less friction with SCM. So if there's any like SCM actions you do, we want those to be reflected in what you actually get from the files changed experience in chat.
That's cool. I like it. All right. So we have these changes. I'm happy with them. This thing's been cooking over here. I don't know what it did. Sounds good. Love it. I don't know. It did a bunch of stuff. Cool. All right. So now you're saying, James, now I'm back on main. Now check this out. So let me just go ahead and expand this puppy. Bam. Let me go ahead and drop this puppy down. Bam. So there's a lot happening on my left side. I'm just going to close all windows.
Yes, there is a lot happening.
I need an expand here. Okay. So there's a lot happening. Now I'm going to even make this bigger so you can see there's more happening. So notice that if I just tap on one of these git, I only see the commits for that work tree or the branch basically here, right? So both of these branches, a bunch of work happened on my local machine at the same time. That is mind blowing and super cool. So I want to get these changes into this change, right? I'm like working, and I could be working on the same thing, multiple tasks, things like that. I might be adding a new API, a new server. I might be doing a bunch of stuff. I want to get these changes back in there so I can toggle both of them. And now I see the changes for the main and then for this other one, right? So I can, of course, tap on these, see the changes, things like that. But now I can do git migrate work tree changes. So this will migrate your work tree, right? So you don't have to do a pull. So this way you don't have to do a pull request into main. You're migrating the changes that were happening in these other branches on your local machine back into your main branch. I'm going to migrate it on my new cooking tools, and it's going to, in all caps, yell at me that this is irreversible.
That's how you write a wording message right there, all caps.
Irreversible. Proceed. Okay. So now what's going to happen is all of those changes just moved into my main line. This is because of my setting. So perfect. Oh, and I think it actually brought over my setting. That's so funny for the
That's
work
too
tree.
funny.
Yep. And it changed my border. So now we're here. So now at this point, I can delete that work tree, right? So this one I could just, get rid of. It's gone. I didn't publish the branch. That branch never even left my local machine at all, right? So I didn't have to push it, didn't have to clutter up things in general. Now all my changes are over here, which is super rad, right? And when I'm done, I could just now come in and say, you know what? Get out of here. Get out of here, work tree. I don't need you anymore. Gone. So now it's
Do you
upsetting
have
me.
any merge conflicts in this, or did you not? It all worked.
I did not, because I strategically planned no merge conflicts.
So the
but
reason I ask is we have, in today's VS Code Insiders, we have AI merge conflict resolution. So boom, new goodness in 105 already. So yeah, like if you did have work trees that kind of stepped over each other, right?
Wow.
We can use AI to kind of resolve those merge conflicts. Everyone's favorite task as a developer, resolving merge conflicts, right?
We can try it. Let's do it.
Let's try to do something that I've never, to be clear, this is new today. So we might be getting ourselves in trouble here, but let's give it a go. Let's see if we can make an intentional merge conflict and see what happens.
Okay. I called this merge conflict, which is the name of the podcast that I do with Frank. So that's great.
I love that.
Shout out. So I'm going to open this in a new window. My machine may stutter a tiny bit, but what we can see is if I go into my web app and we made changes to the API key razor, let's see what we changed here. Lines 24, 25. Ooh, let's get spicy with it. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, there's a whole lot.
And someone in chat asked, if you have different tasks in different workspaces, can you do parallel development? Yes, that's like a big reason we're doing work trees, right? I mean, you can kind of think ahead 1 or 2 steps from us adding this support to, okay, I'm in chat. I can create a work tree from chat. I can kick off different agents and all be in the same window. And so this is kind of foundational work to support kind of this multi-agent workflow. Today, it's possible with these multiple windows. It's a little clunky, but it is possible. But we're kind of working towards this future state where you don't have to even do that anymore, right? All right, let's see if we can intentionally create a merge conflict here.
All right.
That one actually might change the class name to like something random, because I think that was the other thing is like, yeah, like text write or something. I don't know what the class is called, but just because I think it changed this as well in the, it changed that to admin API key splitter. So I'm trying to create multiple changes that would get mad about.
Yeah.
Okay. Now if we bring this back in, hopefully we create a merge conflict.
Let's see. Okay, we're back. There we go. There's stuttering out for a second. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, I'm going to come back into this one. Here are the changes. I'm very worried. Okay, so I'm going to do migrate work tree, merge conflict. Ooh, local changes. Stage. Okay, please stage, commit, or stash your changes in the repository before migrating changes.
Did you stage
so
your... Okay.
Okay, stage. I didn't move it over yet. I canceled it. Let's see. Okay, because I staged them.
The warning message cracks me up so much.
There we go.
Oh,
there are merged conflicts.
All right. So now right click, I think, on this file. Resolve conflicts with AI.
Oh my gosh.
We're trying this live. We're doing it live. I've never done this before. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
I've done it.
It looks like nothing right now.
It does look like nothing. So we'll see. Also, my AI stat bar is filling up over here. That you can configure that in your AI stats. I don't know if that's off by default or not, but
it is off by default. Yes. Wait. So go to this file. So one thing we want to do is also add a big blue button over here. So you see the resolve and merge editor. Click it again. Let's just see. Maybe nothing happens. Looks like nothing's happening. This is the joy of new features, right? We're trying them live, but I think it's weird. Open chat. Just I want to make sure that it's not like And let's do some live debugging. Let's open the output window. Do you know how to do that? Like view output window, and then, yeah, focus on output view works. And then change it to Copilot and that little drop down thingy where it says C#. GitHub Copilot chat. Okay, now try to do it again. Let's see what happens.
Are you sure?
Okay, interesting. So it's not even kicking off anything, it looks like. So
maybe it's not on. Oh,
it'd be weird if it showed without it being enabled, but
that would be odd. Oh, I was like, something is happening. Oh, because it's in here.
Yeah.
Well, I can try. Let me try one more thing.
Okay.
I'm going to try to close the. I'm going to close it and reopen it.
Okay. I think you're on latest insiders? Question mark.
I got it this morning.
All right.
Well, it's not to say that right now when I reopen it that there's not an update this second. So.
Right. we're shipping all the time. I have a team status, which is basically like before you message me, responses may be delayed. It's launch day, and I added that for like the 1.103 release, and then I was like the release day was over, and I was like, well, I guess I could actually keep this team status because we're technically shipping every day. So now, like, it's funny because now I get way less messages on Teams because I have this as my status.
Try. I don't know if it's. Oh.
Are things happening?
Might have happened. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
We're finding out. We're finding out together.
We'll report that bug to the team. But that is like day one of insiders after release. So
yeah, it's literally just the fresh drop from main. So yeah, we'll want a button like that same button to show up here, like resolve with AI or whatever we say, you know.
Yeah.
So anyways, I think that's interesting.
Well, I'm gonna keep this unresolved for tomorrow's update. That's what I'm gonna do. So
okay, that sounds good.
So, and we'll see. Okay, so anyways, we just covered like we did this video that's gonna come out like later today, and like we're like, oh, is it top 5 features, the top 20 features? Like I don't know, it's top like 100 features that I show, right? I want to show one more thing, and then we're gonna hop over to your machine. Yeah, let's do that. Wait, is it still there? I'm gonna keep trying it, even though it's not gonna do it. Something happens, but it's not actually doing it.
Yeah.
I blame me. I blame me. So I want to do one more thing, which is we're gonna have Bridget on the Let It Cook in 2 weeks as well.
Nice.
But I wanted to call out to the coding agent integration over here.
Yep.
So
and what is the coding agent again?
The coding agent allows you to do background agent tasks, basically. Okay. So things that aren't even happening on your machine, they're happening in Declude. And you can see that I fired this one off to enhance admin loading screens with fun animations and graphics. And when I tap on that, now I get a beautiful new view here of the entire output of the background agent. So again, these are things that happened in some branch. There's a pull request that was open for me automatically. And I get the entire output here, which is absolutely beautiful. And the task list, everything like that. I can respond back to it as well. So if it's not missing something, but I can also open the admin screen. So here's the admin screen, and I can actually see the exact changes that were made inside of it as well, which is really, really nice. Again, I can chat at it. I could send and fire it off. So I wanted to reply. So I don't have to even leave vscode or anything like that. But I want to call it one other cool feature is that one, in this new chat sessions view, you can just create a new session. So instead of creating like a work tree and doing stuff on your local machine, if you just want to fire it off to the coding agent, it only uses one premium request and just kind of goes. You just kind of let it go, right? And then you can fire off 20 of these, right? And it's going to create a new branch every single time based on the branch that you're on too. So if you're on a feature branch, it'll fire it off on that branch. But I want to call out a new feature that I think is worth showing is this one. So I added this. Yeah, where's my user account? Bam, that one.
As a feedback flow user, I'm always interested in what you're adding to feedback flow.
So I have this admin screen that I created for myself. Well, I didn't, but I want it to basically, this one will go off. It'll grab all the user stats. So I can see like how many people are using the application, like how many things are happening, user count, tier limits, usage total. And what I really wanted to see is like to see the top reports that users were subscribed to, different subreddits or different GitHub things. So now you can actually go in, and if there's a to-do,
oh, that's neat.
You can just delegate that to the coding agent and pick what branch you want, or, or I guess the work tree. So here, like this is the work tree. And then this is going to fire off, and I'm just going to ignore the changes because I have a bunch of changes that it doesn't need. But boom, go. And now this is going to fire off a brand new background agent task for me, right? So if you have a bunch of to-dos, cleanup, just shove it out into the world. And now we can see that there's a new chat that opened up. Boom, there it is.
Super cool.
Gives it the context. It created a pull request for me, and I can drop this down. I can see like more information about that pull request that it just opened for me in real time. I see Copilot's working, doing its thing, which is really rad. So a lot of people are like, I got to create an issue. I got to do a thing. I got to go back and forth. No, you can just like assign it, just spin it off basically, right? And then go to town. So this is now just going to start working. It's going to cook.
And just a heads up, you will need to install the GitHub pull request extension to see this as well.
Great. Yeah. So if you do pull request over here, there it is. And then also, if you go into the chat as well over here, notice that there's also this button. So delegate to UI. So if you do settings, coding agent, I think it is. And then there is, coding agent, auto commit and push. Interesting. Coding agent enabled, and then UI integration. That's the one that you want for pull requests, and that will show up there. So here, for example, I could also say, let's enhance the, I don't know what I want to do. I want to enhance the loading animation when gathering feedback in the web app and make it more modern. And then I'll just fire that off, right? So, so now it's going to go and continue to work. It's going to create a new coding session here. There's a new one, and then boom, it's going to send it. If I had a big chat, I could also take the changes and do that as well. So boom. There you go. All right, I'm cooking. Pierce, let's talk about more models, things on your machine, other little tweaks. We got 14 minutes left. I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let me figure out how I can share and not, as I said yesterday, like I had a fun one on the vscode stream because I had to restart Edge to get stream share.
Yeah. And
always a classic.
For the question in the chat, all these features we're showing you are in stable. So I just happen to be using
the exception of the AI merge conflict.
Yes, AI merge conflict, which didn't work anyways right now. And there's that. And auto mode is rolling out, right? So that's a rolling feature that will go out, that auto mode if you don't see that now, don't worry, it'll roll out over time. But yes, all these features are in stable in yesterday's release, upgrade today. You just don't have, I just have auto. So in general, so yeah. So
I'm opening stuff. Give me one sec.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, we're opening. Okay, I don't want to show those. Okay. All right, let's share screens. Share my screen.
Yeah, and I'll also point out here too, while I bring up mine still again, one of the cool things that the team did too is like when these things are cooking, which you can kind of see here, you can see the file lines change and a lot more information from just like this little hover over as well. So things are cooking, things are happening. So which I love. So things are cooking. Okay.
I'm ready now, I think. So
he's ready.
Share screen, entire screen, screen 2. Do you ever misnumber your screens? I frequently do this
every day.
So actually, screen 1 is actually screen 2 for me. It always catches me.
You ready? All right, here we go.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm showing VS Code, right? All right.
There it is. I see it.
Okay, so yes, basically we talked a little bit about it earlier, but if I go over here, chat, see, I've been autoing. Actually, no, in this case, I wasn't autoing. I was BYOKing. if I come in here and go to manage models, then I should actually get basically an experience. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. Stop sharing.
He's got some insider bits.
Insider bits. Always fun, right? Okay. And then share again. Make sure I'm all good. Share screen.
I only gave you 45 minutes to get your machine set up here.
I love how yeah, exactly. Although to be fair to me, I did check right before this and it was fine.
All right.
So okay. So then I can come in here, manage models. You can see I've already added GPT OSS and Quinn 3. So I added this via the Cerebrus provider, right? Super fast. This is actually LM Studio. So I'll go ahead and pop open LM Studio. Shout out to LM Studio. Like there's so many great tools for local models now. LM Studio, Olama, AI Toolkit, which we showed on the stream yesterday. So this is like GPT OSS running on my local machine. I have a Mac Studio, so I actually get pretty good kind of local model stuff here.
Nice.
And so speaking of the new bring your own key thing, we basically have a new API. So I'll open up extension.ts. And you can see we have this vscode LM registered language model chat provider. So this is actually like literally a VS Code API. And I've gone ahead and started building out a bring your own key provider for Fireworks. So fireworks.ai is like an inference provider. It's very fast. They host a lot of open source models. And so let's just kind of jump in. Like this is actually pretty simple. And I'll show my coding agent workflow for this maybe another time. But I actually built this with the GitHub Copilot coding agent. So what I did is I took our sample that we have in the VS Code extensions, and then I basically copied that to a new directory. I created a prompt and was like, here's how you take this sample and actually transform it to work for a provider. Yeah. And then I created like for all the providers I could think of, right? I was like, go and build the provider for this. Here's a link to their docs, right? Like, and figured it all out, and then just boom, spun out all the providers. And then I kind of jumped in with agent mode and kind of did a little bit more work. But so regular caveat that I totally vibe coded this implementation. But if we scroll down a little bit to some of the actual meat and potatoes of what's going on here. So like obviously when I click on the provider, like we need to fetch the available models that we have for that provider. So here I'm hitting actually the Fireworks API. Did I provide an API key? Yes or no? Let's, normal HTTP request type of stuff. Okay, we get back the stuff. Now I need to map like the API response from Fireworks back to language model chat. So I do that. That's just kind of mapping objects. API key stuff. Trying to look. Okay, so provide language model chat response is another big part of this interface. So this is actually the logic that's basically going to handle the back and forth in chat. So like when you write a provider, you have full control over the experience of, okay, the user sent this prompt. How do we stream changes back into chat? You're kind of in control as the provider when you're actually authoring this. So if you come in, you can actually see like, okay, I'm looking, are there any tool calls, right? If there are, then do certain things. If there's not, then do certain things. Okay, then start streaming the chat completions back into the chat. So there's like some really cool stuff here. And so I'll just go ahead and run this extension. Oh, another fun setting that I want to show off. Look at this little history, James, right here.
Oh, yes.
So if you come in here and go, I think it's chat history maybe. Yeah, chat empty state history enabled. Show recent chat history on the empty chat state.
Wow.
That is a cool feature because you could always get to that because this history icon was up here. You could click here and kind of go in through your history. But I kind of like we had all this like real estate here we weren't using when I don't have any chat messages. I like that I can kind of pop back into a previous chat from right there. Okay. Also, I'm showing off my VS Code Pokemon extension over here.
I do like it. Did you make that?
What?
Did you make it, or is that just like on the store? I gotta get that.
I'm getting it for a while. But it just brings me a little joy in my day. It's the little moments, James. All right, so then I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna go manage models, and now I added that Fireworks provider, right? So Fireworks shows down here. So then I can click in, and you can see like there's some normalization. Like this is me hitting the API without cleaning the data too much. But you can see like here's some models. okay, there's Quinn3. So I'm going to use that. I'll click OK. And then just my basic tests are always in ask mode because they don't involve tool calling. So it's a little less complicated. And then you can just come in and be like, hey, what up?
Do your Bulbasaurs evolve over time as you're coding?
Let's see. I think I can go in and basically be like, yeah. So like I could, if I wanted a Blastoise or something, like I could add that. They don't evolve, I don't think.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I just said, hey, what up? And so you can see, again, the hover effect. I can see what model it was sent to. Quinn3, 235 billion parameters. It is an instruct model, so it has tool calling. So that's kind of the basics. But then agent is a little trickier because you're actually going in and actually like making tool calls, and like there's a lot of nuances to how you do that. So let's just try it live. Let's build a basic snake game in HTML, CSS, and JS.
Got to. You got to have a basic.
That's like always my basic go-to. Okay, so tool calling seems to be somewhat working. Okay, so we're getting an index HTML created. So this is nice because each of these, like, okay, creating this directory, creating this file, these are all tool calls, right? And BT dubs, if I come in chat debug, I can actually come in and you can see, okay, this was a tool, create file tool, and this is the outputs of that tool.
Yeah.
So you can see actually like what's going on here. So if I close out of that, go back to chat. So you can see like this is where like you have to do some like stuff around the actual provider because there are some little like nuances to each one. And we do all this for you with the models inside of Copilot, right? Like we handle all that so you don't have to ever see errors, like no response returned. But that's basically a tool calling error when we get that. But anyways, then let's see. I think we're starting to get the basics of our snake game in here.
I just added a little Jigglypuff, which is great to my
nice.
So only amiibo I have is my Jigglypuff. It's my Smash character.
So yeah, like it looks like, okay, we're actually passing, in this case, the error, I need to look and see what's going on. We're using the create file tool, but we're passing no arguments, right? So this is where I, as an extension author, I'm like, okay, why is this model making a tool call that has no arguments, right? And that's why we're actually getting no response return, because we're telling it the model to create a file, but we're not giving any information about what to create. So anyways, like I'll go back and forth and keep working on this extension, but that's the basics of kind of the implementation. We already have Hugging Face. Hugging Face is in here. We have Cerebrus, which you showed already. We have the AI Toolkit. AI Toolkit has Foundry Local. It has GitHub Models. It has Onyx. And then I know there's a ton of other providers. I don't want to like share their news for them that are also working on implementations right now. And so hopefully here in the next like week or so, we'll actually have maybe even like double as many providers as we have now. And the cool thing about this is like they're extensions, right? So if something breaks, it doesn't need a new VS Code update, right?
Yeah.
It's an update in real time with the extensions. And so that frequently happens as like new models come online and things like that. Like you have to update your extension. Well, now it's easy because it's just an extension update, right?
I love it. All right, I'm going to make sure that you check out the 104 release notes. There is tons of goodies inside of here. We showed a lot of these features. Yesterday's live stream, check out that with Olivia and crew. But there is like tons. This is one of my new favorites. You can specify the modes. So you can put beast mode in your prompt files, which I think Burke was asking for. Collapsible tools in the tools configurator. There's the custom fonts. I guess I'll just leave it as default, sad. The delegate, there's tons of new updates. We're going to have that. Sharp Solarize. I love that the themes are being called out. Log in with Google. That happened. Boom. You can log in with Google with Copilot now. All the terminal auto approve stuff, global auto approve stuff in there, math rendering on by default, chat view. If you don't want the chat view to show up automatically in the default, you can turn that off. A lot of customization there. Huge task support for the to-dos that we showed off. What else is going on here? Tons of new terminal support improvements as well. So check out all those, the shell integration, the skip tool that we talked about. You can also, if you're like, hey, I just want to go in Zen mode, non-AI mode, you want to go in classic mode, just there's one setting. Now, Pierce, if you just want to go, I just want to, I'm all me typing all the code. That's all you can do that. Sure. MCP, tons of stuff. I mean, I am literally just scrolling, but I'm only here. Like, I think that if you go down to like source control, here's the work tree stuff. Here's the terminal stuff that I was talking about. all the new APIs that are available, sticky scroll improvements, tons of improvements to obviously JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, environment variable stuff for Python. There's tons of notebook improvements as well in this release, tons of PR stuff. I mean, there's tons of little things, right? Oh, this is a good one. The inline suggestion delay, so you can have more control over that. There's that beautiful borders that we talked about.
Love it.
So many goodies. So anyways, check out those release notes, dive through. You're going to see all sorts of stuff inside there. All right, Pierce, I got to go.
Yeah, me too. We both got to run for another meeting, but this is fun.
Thanks everyone for hanging out. This has been Let It Cook. Next week, Den will be back with all sorts of goodies for Spectate, and then Bridget and crew talking about coding agents on Let It Cook. So hang out with us, subscribe. Don't forget we have the VS Code podcast. Go to vscodepodcast.com. Behind the scenes, exclusive with the team. We just started those up. You can find them here on YouTube. You can also find them in your local podcast application. Just type in VS Code. That's going to do it for this Let It Cook. So until next time,
bye.
Happy coding.